So, welcome back to the Ramble Express podcast.
And
Unfortunate.
your hosts, the usual folks.
Yep, it's us three again.
Wait, I'm the,
Usual suspects.
there's normally four of us. Saying us three is like, yay.
Well,
It's us, so it's always us two, but then there's always one other.
yeah. We've pretty much become the main trio at this point.
Say
Have
hi.
the power.
Say, wait, what?
Say hi, one other.
Hi.
Hey. Okay, well, anyways,
Back to the plot.
moving away from this.
Nintendo Direct.
Yeah,
That thing that two of us haven't seen that we're going to talk about.
I'm the only one that's.
I still know most of the stuff from it, so I can accurately talk about it.
I know nothing. I know Splatoon got shaken off.
Yeah, okay,
I did.
YouTube made people commit suicide in fact that it wasn't announced.
Yeah.
We resurrected them.
Yeah, it was a pretty good direct. It's definitely not the best they've done, but it's a good start to the year.
You're reviewing, here's what we're going to do, as in, this isn't the best thing they've ever done. How can you make that statement?
Wait, what?
How can you make this bold statement of, you're saying it's not the best one they've done, but it's what they're going to be doing. So what, they used a different camera and the video quality?
No. They've done better Nintendo Directs before. Like
Better announced stuff.
yeah, like we know most of the stuff that was announced, so half of it wasn't really surprising. I'm not saying the content was bad or anything, but again, we know most of this stuff already, so. Okay, but getting rid of this awkward silence, they started with Fire Emblem. They didn't have a title, but they just put the newest.
Game, it's in the Fire Emblem series. Here's some footage. Have fun.
They just put the newest title in the Fire Emblem series, and I was just like, if that was the actual name, that would be freaking hilarious.
The new Fire Emblem game, the newest title in the Fire Emblem series.
Yeah,
Yes, it's finally coming out.
I'd buy that.
Finally, go to the store and get that.
I
I've
wonder.
never played Fire Emblem the game before and didn't know Fire Emblem was a thing until Smash Bros.
I think everyone was pretty much the same. Like we didn't, like Marth and.
We didn't know Fire Emblem existed until I think it was. I can't remember if it was Smash 64 or Melee.
It was. I don't think any Fire Emblem characters were in 64 because, like, I don't.
Yeah, but
Yeah. So like, we go to Melee, and then we have Marth and Roy, and everyone was like,
Brawl had Marth and Ike, I think.
yeah, and it was just like, huh, what games are these guys from? And then everyone went crazy about Fire Emblem.
It's like, oh my god.
And so they decided to release the games over here, and it's a series that, while I respect, I can't really get into.
I've never played them myself. I want to try them out sometime. Just like
Awakening is really good, but it's a real-time strategy game, and those are really hard for me to get into.
I'm not sure.
Like there are only like two that I enjoyed. Brutal Legend, because it was only like half real-time strategy game. You could actually go onto the battlefield and do stuff. And Shining Force, for reasons that I honestly can't even explain.
Well, looking at how Fire Emblem plays, I'm not sure if I'll get into that kind of gameplay style. Like I said, I still need to give it a shot, but I'm really not sure at this point.
Yeah, I've only played Awakening, so I'd suggest that one.
Okay.
Next on the list.
After they showed Fire Emblem, it was like some puzzle game.
Puzzle and Dragon Z, probably.
Yeah, that's it.
Super Mario Brothers Edition.
I thought everyone got over the sticking a Z at the end made it awesome phase. At the same time, they got over the sticking an X at the end of everything. Didn't make it extreme.
Well, apparently not, because we've also still got Xenoblade Chronicles X. I really hope that's still a placeholder title.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like, what can we make the next game? What can we call the next game? Let's just put an X at the end of the title. No one will notice.
Yeah. If that ends up being the title, I'm gonna be really disappointed.
Yeah, let's just pose it as Xenoblade Chronicles Extreme!
Extreme Riders! It'll be kind of disappointing, but the overall game looks really promising, so I wouldn't care that much, but, you know.
No,
Yeah, I will say at E3 last year, I got really bored with the with Xenoblade Chronicles X simply because they showed 40 minutes of it, and those 40 minutes were filled with absolutely nothing happening.
Well, from what they've shown in this direct, the game looks gorgeous.
Well, yeah, I mean it's Xenoblade, so it's probably going to be good, but I feel that they really went poor with the E3 presentation last year.
How was the gameplay and combat from what you saw? Because I didn't see it.
They didn't really show any of that. For the most part, they were just like showing off different environments and stuff.
Why didn't they just show us the engine? Say this is what we've been developing within the game, and sneak in an Easter egg so that if you watch the direct, you know about the Easter egg, and then you can go to the Easter egg early game and get overpowered weapons. That by chapter 2 won't mean anything.
Wait, why would they do something like that?
Because it's like no, whatever. I was gonna. No, I know what I'm trying to say.
Because game design.
Yeah.
Well, I
You
don't.
just have to be a 100% completionist and have the internet handy at all times, or have seen the direct and taken way too much interest into what was actually going on in the coding side.
Well, I wouldn't really want something like that, just because I'm not a fan of having overpowered weapons at the start of the game. Because it.
You have to watch the direct, and the weapons would only be overpowered until halfway through the first chapter.
I guess, but even still, I'm not a fan of things like that. I'd much rather just play the game how it was intended. Usually on my second playthrough of the game, I tend to like mess around a lot more and see what like cheats I can find and whatnot. On a first play,
I think past the first playthrough is usually when it's a good time to screw around in a game.
yeah, because it somewhat feels a bit disrespectful just cheating through a game on your first playthrough, because you're not really going through it the way it was supposed to, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Although there are some games that are either so bad to the point when that you just want to get through them quickly, or they just take forever, and after 40 hours or whatever, you're like, okay, I need to just get this over with.
Yeah.
Because even in like an RPG, a game can very much overstay its welcome.
Oh yeah, definitely, especially in RPGs, considering how long they can be. Why?
One of the best examples, I think, is Dragon Quest VII. That game is like 100 hours, I think.
Sometimes,
which makes me terrified to play it.
Yeah. For the most part, RPGs are kind of like, you play it once and you don't really play it again, considering the length.
Well, and if you do play it again, it's not something that you'll play like once every week or something. They're games that you kind of have to be in the right mood to play. Like, I don't play Earthbound incredibly often. I do about one playthrough a year simply because it's an RPG and it does take a while to finish.
Yeah. Games like Banjo-Kazooie and like, say, Mario 64, those can be beaten in like a couple of sittings if you know what you're doing, so they're a lot easier to like play over and over again.
Also, dear future game designers, if you ever decide to make a procedurally generated story-based dungeon crawler like Dark Chronicle or Dark Cloud, make sure that you have a run button. Because you finish the dungeon and are looking for that one item, because that's the only way to finish the dungeon. You don't want to be walking back and forth through the entire dungeon around these very long corridors, which is what I'm
Or do
currently...
you?
Yeah.
No, you don't, because I'm currently doing it. It's not fun, it's boring, and it's wasting my time.
Yeah.
I'm wishing for a teleporter in a fantasy game.
Or it could be like parents playing a 2D Mario game and then they start running, and then they think it's a bad thing, so they just keep walking throughout the whole game.
Yeah.
That annoys me.
How would running in the game be?
I like how we completely ignored Puzzle Dragons, probably because we have nothing to say about it.
Well,
Dragons and puzzles, that sounds awesome, but for all I know it could just be the next Bejeweled.
well, do you
Like,
know
we
those?
brought up we brought up Puzzle and Dragons and then immediately went into Xenoblade.
Well, do you know the kind of like Candy Crush kind of games where you have to match
Match 3 games.
yeah, essentially you just like match symbols up and you get points and whatnot. It's pretty much like that. There's nothing really to say about it.
Oh great, so
Yeah,
gets released.
I'll probably play it because I like Match 3 games. I mean, that's probably the main reason why I still have Doctor Who Legacy on my phone.
My mum will probably get it.
So my only reason for potentially getting it would probably be for the Mario part, because I really don't care for the main like package.
Yeah, I'll probably at least rent it because puzzle games.
Yeah. And then after that they announced a Pokemon Rumble, I think it's called. Maybe not. That probably isn't the name, but either way, it was essentially the same thing except Pokemon. It was free. They said it was free to play, but if you run out of hearts, you have to pay real money to get more. So that was kind of a. I'm not sure what to think about that.
I imagine it'll probably be like most games that do that, and your hearts will still regenerate after a certain amount of time. But it's the fastest way is to pay money to get them back.
Yeah, from what I recall, that's the way they said. I don't know. It just kind of seems weird they're doing that. Because didn't Candy Crush do that?
Candy Crush does do that. If you run out of lives, you have to wait for them to come back, but you can spend like $5 to get more.
Ah, okay.
Also, if any Dark Cloud or Dark Chronicle fans are saying, but Joey, you could just use the Dran's Feather, I don't have any, and I'm not far enough in the game to buy any. So don't bother commenting that. Or at least comment it so we know we have viewers and it's not just ourselves watching through our own videos, racking up the views so YouTube notices us senpai.
Anyway, what do we got after that?
I honestly can't remember.
Oh, according to the Direct, they showed off some Codename Steam stuff in that Amiibo will be supported.
Yeah, they showed off the Fire Emblem characters, which is, that works, I guess. I'm not. After seeing that, I'm like slightly more interested in Codename Steam, but I'm not sure.
I'm interested in it just like mainly for the concept.
Yeah.
I'm interested in releasing a me amiibo.
I'll say it for like I know I said this before in a podcast, or at least I'm pretty sure. It is a game where an Abraham Lincoln leads an army of people in steam-powered mech suits to fight aliens.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love everything about that sentence.
Yeah,
I hate about that sentence.
Yeah, the concept is cool, but I'm not really sure if I'll enjoy the actual game. Because I don't know. I generally don't.
We'll see when it comes out.
Yeah. I've never played that sort of game, so I'm not sure.
All they need to do is add endless corridor walking, and I'm sold.
The Japanese title is actually Lincoln versus Aliens.
Nice.
That makes so much sense.
It comes out in the US March 13th, 2015, and then sometime in May for Europe.
Okay, that's not bad. I was surprised at how close these games were releasing together, because I thought there'd be somewhat of a gap, but it doesn't seem that way.
Anyway, there was also a gameplay trailer for Kirby and the Rainbow Curse, but like I don't even think we need a gameplay trailer for it. It's essentially Kirby Campus Curse 2.
Yeah.
Harry, why did the recording software leak?
I'm trying to sync it up.
Mario Party 10 amiibo stuff. Certainly is Mario Party.
Yeah, Mario Party 10 is... it's pretty much what you'd expect. I'm looking forward to it though, just because it's Mario Party. What else can you say?
We're disco dancing, it's not a Mario Party.
I do like the addition of the Bowser party though, because that seems like the best mode to just troll your friends.
So what, the first
More ways to make you... I really don't think Mario Party needs more ways to make your friends hate you.
Well, apparently Nintendo found something.
It's like, alright kids, play this game and then tell me how you would like to screw over your friends and how we'd be able to make this possible. 5 minutes later.
Tell me, how many friends did you lose?
I have an entire angry mob. What's the size? The entire school I go to wants to kill me and I've had to move to another country. Yeah.
We have succeeded. Please understand.
Please understand.
Sad for you having no future for you, but at least we've got a badass game coming out soon for the Wii U, and you get a free copy.
Please understand.
And then there was a Majora's Mask 3D gameplay trailer, which I didn't see.
Well, I'm gonna stop recording and then record again because the Luigi's Mansion footage just froze on me, so yeah, don't say anything for a couple of seconds.
So about all that important stuff that we're going to talk about now, but not going to ever repeat.
Okay, I'm recording again.
We were talking about important stuff that we were never going to repeat for the recording. Now we can't say it because it's recording now.
Oh, I already found out the title of the new Fire Emblem game.
What's that?
Fire Emblem If.
What?
Fire Emblem If What is the sequel.
Yep.
Wait, hang on.
Like, that's its Japanese title, but that's the only title we know. So currently, it's Fire Emblem If.
Okay, something's going on, so... Hold on.
I swear I'm going to have to record these as well, but I can't at the moment because my recording software says update or you can't record! Because I use free software.
Yeah.
And apparently, in Japan, Fire Emblem If is going to be accompanied by a Fire Emblem trading card game and a Fire Emblem Awakening themed manga.
Why do I not live in Japan? All the cool stuff happens there.
There's also a shit ton of people.
And I went to Comic Con.
There's way more people in Japan. They actually have to you actually have to get like approved by the government to be able to have kids. There are so many people.
No, that's China.
Oh right, shit, I forgot. Never mind.
It's China, you have to be approved by the government.
Yeah, never mind. Japan's not that bad.
You can have one kid.
I mean, there's still a lot of people, but
And also in China, people only want males to continue the family because they only have one kid. And then there's the women can't keep their maiden name law still in China. It's been abolished in most places because it's ridiculous. Now it's just choice and tradition.
Yep. Okay, so
I'm looking on the Majora's Mask 3D website on the what's new and like what they've changed.
okay.
I'm on floor 4. Do you want to know how big it is?
The
Very.
size of a football pitch.
No. Your first time going to floor 4, there's an event. So if you go to floor 4 ever again, it's just an empty room. And it's just run forward to go to the already open exit. I think there's another floor in the first dungeon that has that same thing. And then every boss floor, if you go to it after you finish the boss, the thing happens.
So apparently with Majora's Mask 3D, first off I can tell they made the clock system more comprehensible, like to look at.
Ah, okay. I never really had a problem with the original one, but it's a welcome feature that they made it easier to read.
Oh, I just figured out how the moon can stay up in that orbit for that long without crashing in.
Also, Brain Scratch actually made a good point. Wait, what?
The goddesses of the Triforce are holding it with all their power, but can't remove it, and it's up to Link to stop it.
Because
Science.
Because you have to always put all the stress on the hero.
Yeah, because fuck him, what's he have done for us?
Except defeat the king of evil.
Several times.
But well, actually, yeah, I was gonna say not this one, but then I remembered Majora's Mask Link is actually the same Link as Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, but technically it didn't happen because time travel, but still, he still technically did it.
Well, it did happen. Zelda just made him a kid again, so he could
Yeah.
live out those 7 years.
And it's
Though he had still defeated Ganon, if I recall correctly.
well, Ganon is still defeated in the adult timeline, but since he went back in time, that technically didn't happen. So
Whatever, Zelda timeline is confusing, and I don't care.
Yeah. Well, people like to say that at the end of Ocarina of Time, Link is going to tell Zelda about what Ganondorf's trying to do, so they lock him up before he can actually try and do something.
I just think Ganon should be a dwarf. I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to think about it because you can't be asked, and we're doing a podcast, but you know what I mean.
Oh yeah.
And then apparently also made it so you can save easily and often and can jump to a specific time of day.
Huh. That was a look. Well, you could use the double Song of Time to skip a day. But I don't think.
But like this, I think you could even go earlier in the day.
Huh. I also think they're trying to make some kind of quick save feature where, in the original game, you saved your game at a owl statue, and then once you go back to the game, you'll go back to that point, obviously. But if you fail at doing something, you can't reset your game and go back to that save point, because you can only. This is kind of weird to explain, but you can only use up an owl statue saving thing once. Once you've done it once,
I think it also saves when you go back in time with the Song of Time, but I can't remember.
yeah, it saves every time you do.
Mask.
Yeah, every time you go back in time, it saves.
So is this basically Ocarina of Time 2.0?
No. Well, yes and no.
No,
Majora's
Mask 2.0, sorry.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah,
Of course.
end of the point.
from what I've seen, they're doing a lot more than they did with Ocarina of Time 3D, because with that game, outside of animation upgrades and graphics and whatnot, there wasn't a lot changed from the original game. From what I've seen of Majora's Mask 3D, they're trying to add.
According to Aonuma, they made a lot of major. I think I said a lot of major changes and a lot of tweaks, so that both fans of the original and newcomers to the game could enjoy it.
Yeah, pretty much. They said that they're not making it too different, so original fans won't like it, but they're also changing it so like newcomers will enjoy it as well. So yeah, that's a good balance.
I wonder if they'll have a Master Quest mode.
That's a good point. The original didn't have one.
I mean, to be fair, technically Ocarina of Time didn't either until it came to the GameCube.
I wouldn't be opposed to that, but to be fair, the game is already pretty hard as it is. Like, most people consider it to be the hardest 3D game in the series.
Yeah, but I think a lot of people would also be up for a harder experience, because Master Quest really only ever changed the dungeons.
Yeah,
the rest of the game is pretty much left unaltered.
Yeah, again, I wouldn't be opposed to that. But since there's only 4 dungeons in the game, I'm wondering if they'll try and add more dungeons. They're most likely going to have to do that for side quests, because if they add more dungeons for the main story mode, it's probably going to screw things up, considering how the game is meant to be structured.
Probably. Like, that is one complaint that I actually do kind of have with Majora's Mask, is its emphasis on side quests. Like, I like side quests in games, but Majora's Mask really puts an emphasis on it. It does everything except for tell you, hey, play the side quests or else you won't enjoy the game to its fullest extent.
Play them side quests then.
Well, I don't...
Which kind of defeats the purpose of them being side quests if they're kind of necessary.
Well, you never really have to do it to beat the game, but if you want to experience the game in its entirety, you have to do them, which is kind of,
if you want to have a somewhat manageable amount of hearts.
Yeah, that, and if you don't want the game to end too quickly, because I think if you just go through the temples and whatnot, the game lasts I think around a week, the time of a weekend.
It's not a long game. You just do the temples.
Yeah.
I've just been thinking for a second. Have there been masochist playthroughs of people playing these games using only 3 hearts and no sword?
I know there are 3 heart runs of Majora's Mask, but I don't know about no sword.
In the first Zelda game, you can play through it with no sword.
Until you get to Ganon, and then you're screwed.
Bombs?
Bombs?
Nope.
You wanted? It's yours, my friend, as long as you have enough rubies.
Everyone knows what it's really supposed to say. As long as you have enough rubies.
Wow.
Mature.
I see. I shall devour.
No, not into the pit. It burns.
You've killed me.
I swear to God that boss melts. I'm trying to remember, but I can't, because I can't remember anything. What did we do last podcast?
I don't even know. Yeah, I can't even remember.
Do we even get comments?
No, not really.
No, if we got comments, Harry would tell me.
Yeah,
Well,
that's...
The shock development in the
what they're changing with the save features that if you can save with the owl statue, and that's pretty much a save state in the 3DS version. You couldn't do that in the original, so if you screw up at some point, I believe you can just reset your game, and then you'll start back at the owl statue, and you can just try again.
Yeah, they're probably like quick saves then.
Yeah. There is a rumor about feather statues. I have no idea what that could mean, because that was not in the original.
Suppose we'll see.
Yeah. If that's even true to begin with. But in general, they're changing a lot more for Majora's Mask than they did with Ocarina of Time, because they're even
probably because
adding
Ocarina of Time is kind of a more accessible
Yeah.
game. Majora's Mask A lot of what blocks Majora's Mask, I think, for me and probably a lot of people, is that 3-day time limit, and it seems like they're making that a bit more manageable this time around.
I personally never had a problem with it, but I can see why people did have troubles.
I just dislike the like any kind of time limit in a game. It's super stressful, and I hate it.
Yeah. It's all.
Don't play the what's it? What games am I thinking of? Zombies time limit.
Dead Rising.
Yes, that one.
Well, if the time
with
limit.
Dead Rising, with Dead Rising, I don't have a problem with it because the game doesn't end if you have if the time limit runs out, so that doesn't bother me. What bothers me about Majora's Mask is that the game is over if time runs out.
The game doesn't. Runs out in Dead Rising.
In Dead Rising, at least the second game, if you don't give Katie her Zombrex in time or whatever, you can still keep playing.
Oh no, the timer isn't for the Zombrex. The Zombrex is for the good ending.
I know, but still, when the time limits run out in Dead Rising 2, I didn't play a lot of the first one, and I haven't played 3 at all. When the time limits run out in the second game, the game is not over. It doesn't stop and you essentially die. You can keep playing, and that's what I don't like about Majora's Mask's time limit is when it runs out, you're dead.
Oh yeah, but it sends you back to day one.
Yeah, but it still bothers me.
Well, Luigi's Mansion used to have a time limit. I'm kind of glad they got rid of that.
Yeah, that probably would also eliminate most of the chance of me playing Luigi's Mansion if that had stayed in there.
And it would probably scar a lot of children.
No, if you want to scar children for life, just show them the PS2 error message.
I knew you were gonna say that. But seriously, the beta of Luigi's Mansion is just screwed up to all hell. Wait. Oh, that's where I'm supposed to go. Okay, I'm stupid.
Now you know.
And knowing is half the battle.
Well,
Me.
I could share my screen, but I don't want to risk having the.
So that would just crash the
Yeah.
recording, and we'd have to do all this again, and we wouldn't do it again because we're lazy.
Yep.
Just scrap the video and find another topic to talk about.
But
Fuck it.
but yeah, Majora's Mask 3D. Really looking forward to that.
Yeah. I'm gonna give Majora's Mask 3D a chance. Even when I did not, when I fully accepted that I did not like the original Majora's Mask, I told myself if it gets a 3DS re-release like Ocarina of Time, I will give it another chance with that one.
Okay. But what's next?
That's all I can find. Everything else that they've listed, we went over.
What about Splatoon?
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about Splatoon.
Yeah, they didn't show that on here, so I didn't know about it.
Oh, okay. Well, essentially they showed off this hub world, which is supposed to link all the game's modes together. They didn't show where you access the single player mode, but essentially it works pretty much the same as Nintendo Land, where you have this like circular arena kind of thing, and you can interact with the other characters and see what weapons they're holding. So you can kind of use that to find different strategies, and you have a shop, different types of shops to get different equipment, weapons and such. So it's a good thing they showed all that, because I was afraid there'd be a lack of different types of weapons and whatnot. And I'm glad to be proven wrong.
Oh, I'm always excited. I'm always excited for Splatoon. So
Yeah.
I'm excited for Splatoon, although I don't know how they're going to work or if they're going to scrap that.
Every time something is revealed about Splatoon, it just makes me want it to come out sooner.
That's actually something that's put me on. Well, I don't really know about that because I play a lot of shooters, so unless of course they do it the way they did it in Monster Hunter.
What are you talking about? How they're going to handle Splatoon?
Yeah.
No, I played a demo of it at a. It wasn't Hyper Japan. I can't remember.
The game's going to be bad. I'm just saying, if that's what they're going to do for their menu system, that's going to be quite confusing.
Well, not really. If you play Nintendo Land, it's very intuitive and easy to understand. Because even though there's like a hub world, you can still go on like some menu thing and instantly go to the mode. So I wouldn't be surprised if they have something like that here. But I played a demo of Splatoon. I got used to the controls pretty quickly. It was only one playthrough, so I can't say that much. But I enjoyed the time of. I enjoyed my time with it.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the direct.
I'm not sure if there was anything else, to be honest. How long?
Because I'm looking on the page for the direct, and everything that's on there we've gone over. So.
Okay, well, I feel this has been been pretty short. So.
There wasn't really too much to talk about.
Yeah, there really wasn't. Like again, it was a good direct, but there wasn't a lot we haven't seen yet. So.
Yeah.
Do you guys have like any topics?
Well, I'm being chased by a bat, a statue, and a mimic. Well, with a nearly destroyed, powerful as hell sword that I could probably wipe them all with, but I'm poisoned and I can't hit any of them without getting injured.
Well, I could talk about the PS2 era thing.
Oh yes, let's go everyone to life who hasn't seen that.
I actually, while we were talking just a few seconds ago, I looked at the PS2 error screen. It certainly is a thing.
Yes, it's a thing. You have to look at the video though. You can't just look at a picture of it because.
Oh no, I did. I saw the video. I remember seeing that. I remember seeing that screen a couple of months ago, actually, while attempting to get my copy of Nightmare Before Christmas Oogie's Revenge to work.
Huh.
Oh yeah. Also, if you have a PS2 and you want to emulate this, you don't have to fuck up a game. Just put in a game from a different console.
Yeah.
So if you want to see it in person without fucking up a game or deliberately going out to waste your money on a fucked up copy of a game, just put on Xbox, PlayStation game, whatever you want. PlayStation 3 onward. Sticking a PS1, you'll just get a PS1 game.
No matter how many times I play Luigi's Mansion, I can never memorize all the rooms.
I'm kind of the same way with like some areas in Symphony of the Night. Like I've played that game. The playthrough that I recorded is like my 8th playthrough, and I can never remember where the fucking Coliseum is.
Isn't Symphony of the Night the PS1 one?
Yep.
Yeah.
My experience with that game is Johnny's review.
It's a good game. It's on PlayStation Network for I think like $5. So.
Oh, okay.
Everything's on the PlayStation Network for $5.
Well,
especially if you have, and by the way, if you have a Japanese PSN account, Brave Fencer Musashi is on there, and that is a great game as well.
Oh, speaking of PlayStation stuff, when I record Stars to Force Unleashed, do you think I should do the DLC levels, or should I just leave that?
We'll do the DLC.
Okay. I'm gonna have
It'll
to
probably
buy.
Be after the main. It'll probably be after the main story, but.
Yeah. Well, I think the Jedi Temple. I think the Jedi Temple takes place. Wait, what?
Should I tackle Force Unleashed 2?
Yeah, you can if you want.
There's one DLC. There's one DLC mission for that, and it's not really as good as any of the Force Unleashed 1 DLC levels.
Well, I need to download the Force Unleashed 1 DLC levels first off.
There is a Force Unleashed 2.
Yeah.
Yes, it came out in like 2011,
Yeah.
2010, something like that.
2010 and 2011 were great years for gaming.
And I'm one of the few people that thinks Force Unleashed 2 is the better game.
Well, from what I've seen, it looks better gameplay-wise, which is the most important thing, so whatever.
Yeah, like the thing that really put me off of the Force Unleashed 1, and this is specifically the HD version because it was nowhere near as much of a problem in the PS2 version, was that fucking Star Destroyer.
Oh yeah, screw that place. Or screw the Star Destroyer even.
Yeah, like that is the only reason why I dislike the HD version of Star Wars The Force Unleashed 1.
I've only played a little bit of
entire
the...
segment.
I've only played a little bit of the Wii version. Like, all I've really played of it was the I was about to say Death Egg, wow. The Death Star level. And since it was my first time playing, I pretty much died instantly, so...
Well, the Death Star is basically the Death Egg, except it's a star.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Kinda. Also, with the PS2 era screen, I don't find it nightmare fuel inducing like a lot of people seem to in the comments of the video that I watched.
All because it actually did fuel my nightmares.
Well,
Probably because I'm more terrified of this, and if you can, it works to put that up on the screen. Otherwise, this won't make any sense.
I'm gonna click this and probably be like, oh, that's not scary in the slightest. Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah,
Wait, what is it?
images of this guy are even kind of still horrifying to me.
I'm just looking at that picture, I'm like, what is he even from? That is creepy. And
That is
just
King Ramses from Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Oh, right. No wonder I'm scared to shit of that, seeing as I used to watch that and then had all memories of that show removed from me somehow.
Huh.
Return the slab or suffer my curse.
I don't remember... I remember watching some of Courage the Cowardly Dog, but I remember jack crap of it, so...
I'm glad I
Courage the Cowardly Dog was honestly probably one of the scariest kids shows ever, man. Especially with fucking King Ramses.
I was scared of like some of the stupidest crap as a kid. Like, you know the original Lego Star Wars, how every time the game saves, a Yoda head pops up?
Yeah.
I was scared crapless as a kid when that...
I used to be when I was a kid. I was scared of the music and the Mystic Ruins and Sonic Adventure.
Yeah, looking back, it's pretty hilarious. What we become scared of.
I'm still
Like most of the things I was scared of as a kid, I'm not scared of now. The only exception is fucking King Ramses. I'm still terrified of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, compared to most of the stuff from that television show, the what am I thinking of?
I don't know. What are you thinking of?
PS2 era screen is
Yeah.
still a close second because there isn't a third. Because I seriously got overspied a long time ago.
Well, the PS1 era screen is pretty basic. So the
That screen was just red shades
Yeah.
go into a slightly.
I have a funny story of how I saw that screen though, because my brother like was making up some random game, and he made a paper disc. I actually put it into the PS1, and then it came up with that screen. And that was pretty funny.
It would have been much creepier if it actually came up with a fully made game.
Yeah, that would be really weird.
That'd be an X-Files or Twilight Zone episode.
Oh.
No, the only way it'd be an X-Files episode if it ate Harry alive.
Then it will be a creepypasta then.
Don't get me started. I have one in my mind.
I love how I think in the previous episode we talked about creepypastas, and now we're doing it again. And for both episodes, I played Luigi's Mansion.
One second, let's make it.
Creepypasta is
Everyone?
Creepypasta is just a continuous theme. Why am I still looking at pictures of King Ramses?
Because it's so terrifying, you've just got to stare at it. Anyway, who wants to hear my creepypasta of how Harry died, despite he's still clearly there?
Go ahead.
How old were you when that happened, by the way? Just give me an arbitrary number.
I honestly can't remember. That was like...
It was 7.
I don't know. Let's just say around there.
Alright, so I'm going to say you were 7.
Okay.
One day, like any other day, it was stormy and raining, and Harry was in his games room.
I didn't have a games room at the time.
I don't care, this is a creepypasta, I'm calling you 7 despite you were probably, I don't know how old you were, because you can't even remember. So I don't care about actual facts at this point. Back to the story, take a shot.
If you don't know that, then watch Quest for Equestria.
I swear, we're double linking these things now.
Yes.
Anyway,
Okay.
so Harry's brother was drawing a game on a piece of paper. After Harry's brother left, Harry decided to put the game into his favourite console, the PS1. Except this one was black and had hellfire burning out of the dish tray. Why? Because creepiness and fuck you. He placed the disc made of paper inside the console. And then he closed the hellfire spewing disc tray and pressed reset, because that apparently starts the console now. The game loaded up to Harry's shop, and then all of the things within his games room came to life and tore him to pieces and then ate him. Or if this was a legit creepypasta that ate it into him. Because every creepypasta has one spelling mistake.
Ate it into him.
Everything would be a spelling mistake.
Or the Nintendo.
Yes, his Nintendo. By the way, his personal second favourite, his Nintendo ate his big toe. On his
Nintendo is a great creepypasta.
I'm not even finished with this one. When Harry's brother re-entered, everything was normal except for one drop of blood on the PlayStation console. The end.
Wow.
For some reason, I decided it was a good idea to actually watch the clips of King Ramses.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Are you
Let's do that!
so you wait? Are you deliberately trying to scar yourself now?
Maybe. I don't know, man. There's the video, by the way, if you want to watch them.
I'll probably check it out after.
I swear, next Halloween, this is all we're going to be talking about. Like, scary death things and making up bullshit creepypastas. Oh wait, never mind. Making up creepypastas.
Maybe King Ramses is the reason why I'm not scared of a lot of horror games now. Like, if it was King Ramses in Slender instead of Slender Man, I would be fucking scared shitless, man.
So,
Yeah.
is it okay that if I mod a version of Slender Man with King Ramsey and then use that instead?
And yeah, send it to Chase. Just be like,
Chase
yeah.
is just like, I'm gonna kill myself. Actually, no, he won't kill himself, he'll kill me. And then upload it to the internet for £5.
Yeah.
£5 to access this amazing game. Quotation.
I'm pretty sure that most people, I am still pretty sure that most people who watched Courage the Cowardly Dog, specifically the King Ramses episode as a kid, were horrified.
Yeah, I got the gold mouse.
Yeah, I just stuck an amethyst onto this sword.
I'm probably gonna get to Boo Lossus, and then after I do that, we're probably gonna just end the video.
Yeah. Is there anything else you
By
want?
the way,
Because we can always just
Part Part 1 of Symphony of the Night is 54% uploaded.
Okay. What else has happened? Well, has anything happened recently for any of you?
I'm playing Dark
really.
again.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I beat Saints Row 4 in 2 days because it was on Steam this weekend.
Woo!
And yeah, I definitely recommend that game.
Also,
Great, free, and it's brilliant for rampaging. But if you're playing the game to rampage, I suggest doing the side quests, which I didn't do because I just wanted to complete the game.
Also, fun fact about Luigi's Mansion: in the PAL version, you can't get the best rank in the normal mansion. You have, no matter how good you do, you can only do that if you do the hidden mansion. So I think they made the game slightly harder for the PAL release.
Maybe.
I'm confusing my cat by just opening and closing the door repeatedly.
Now, one thing that I have to wonder, there are a lot of really pointless changes between the Japanese Saturn version and American PlayStation version of Symphony of the Night. One that actually kind of a lot of them actually disappoint me, but one in particular is actually the title being changed.
Yeah, I share.
In the original Japanese release, it's Dracula X Nocturne in the Moonlight, and I get the Dracula X thing because that's just what Castlevania is called there. But why did Nocturne in the Moonlight become Symphony of the Night?
Yeah, I share similar sets.
Like they're both great titles, but I think Nocturne in the Moonlight is a bit better.
Nocturne is a shortening of nocturnal, which is the awakening of a sleeping creature. I think I just pulled that out last night.
Nocturnal is a creature that is something that sleeps in the day and is awake at night.
Yeah. So vampire. So nocturnal creatures living within the moonlight as a translation.
I guess.
Yeah, I share similar feelings towards the, Kirby's Return to Dreamland having a different name in Europe, where it's just called Kirby's Adventure.
Kirby Wii.
Yeah, it's just called Kirby's Adventure Wii, which I'm just like, why did you bother changing that in the first place?
Yeah.
It's like there's already a
weird title. Another weird title change is in Japan. All of the Mega Man games have subtitles.
Huh.
The only Mega Man game that I know of in America to have a subtitle was Mega Man X2, which had the subtitle Versus X Hunters.
That's interesting.
What the hell is that?
A thing.
It's an opar. I have never seen that before. And I can probably one-hit it. No, I can't one-hit it. Yes, I can one-hit it, but it still hurt me.
Oh, now you have seen it.
Yeah, so apparently there is a massive whale frog thing called an opar, and it is massive.
And I just heard a noise.
I'm trying to think of other interesting title changes, but I can't.
Well, I'm at Boo Losses now, so let's do this. Because I want to get a decent amount of Luigi's Mansion done before we stop.
Well, you won't.
How dare you? Master Jacket is basically a skeleton with a jacket.
I'm actually surprised. So far I've never had a problem with the boos yet. They usually give me a lot of trouble.
Well, you're at Boopolis,
So,
land of the Boo.
well, Boo Losses is like a bunch of boos formed in one, and they all count your boo counter, so that helps a lot. But the boss itself is kind of a pain to do. Well, boos aren't really scary.
I cannot be bothered with that thing. I'm just going to get my slingshot character and just shoot at it.
I didn't get them.
And I basically just killed it with 2 shots. Petite fish. So basically I just took its lunch.
What a dick.
How dare you?
So I wasn't going to eat it.
Do we have it, anything?
Not really.
Okay, well, I guess we're just gonna awkwardly talk while I finish this boss then.
Yeah. Also, I have a question. Do you want to be in the next episode of Quest for Equestria? We could probably find a way of putting you in. Somehow. Because we're at a point where we could put you in.
Sure.
It's essentially a Dungeons and Dragons scenario thing.
Alright.
Be warned, because you can be written out at any moment.
Alright.
But under that same logic, you could be written back in at any moment.
Yeah. No. I hate the boos get smarter over time, which makes it harder for them to
Procedurally generated AI.
Yeah. So they know you're trying to suck them in eventually, so they are like physically trying to avoid you.
Oh, but I thought they loved me.
Yeah, they pretty much. You pretty much have to be quick. Ah.
Wait.
Oh, can I just point out how Symphony of the Night has a really good soundtrack, but it's really irritating in the Reverse Castle because like half of the areas in the Reverse Castle use the track Final Toccata.
I just thought of a really creepy headcanon regarding the Mario universe.
What's that?
The reason there are so many boos in Luigi's Mansion is because it's every time Mario died when you were playing a Mario game.
Actually, there is a theory that all the boos in the Mario universe are just dead Mario enemies.
No,
I think it's probably all the. I think
because-
it's probably all the Toads Mario killed from the blocks. Because if you remember in the manual for the original Super Mario Brothers, it said Bowser used his dark magic to turn all the Toads into blocks.
And then you're just killing them for money.
Money,
Yeah.
money.
Mario's a horrible mercenary.
And
Or
other
just-
times just for the hell of it, because some blocks don't give you coins.
Well,
Yeah, just the regular blocks.
Well,
What about
just-
the blocks that you kill? What about the Toads that you murdered just to go into World 1-1, -1?
I see. Well, we just watched Game Theory's was it Why Mario is Mental
Mario's
video?
mental.
Yeah.
When you get antisocial personality disorder, if I recall correctly.
I
Which,
don't-
by the way, is the same thing that he diagnosed the Joker with. So,
I hate this one boo. It doesn't let you catch him. Ah.
Yeah, but didn't he also say that the angry video game nerd had Tourette's?
no, he said that the angry video game nerd as a character definitely had a bunch of
Yes.
mental disorders, though.
Okay, I love how Harry's just like,
Like,
yes.
obviously, James Rolfe as a person doesn't have those, but the AVGN character might.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah. So before the bus, I had like around 25 boos, and now after the bus, I have 39. So.
Ooh.
Well, it's going to do some cutscenes before I can access the next area of the game. So after these, wait, what?
Something else about the Symphony of the Night footage that I recorded. Because of the way that I ended up playing through the game and the order of the areas I went into, there are 2 dialogue scenes that are missing entirely.
Ah.
Oh, yes, I figured it out.
They're not incredibly lengthy, so
It's the
I could probably find them when we actually get to them, but they are still missing.
and then you use the fire character. and it still takes forever.
I also did a lot of stupid shit while playing Symphony of the Night. My brain was everywhere in the first half.
You need a lot of repair power machines.
Apparently Joe's talking.
Probably my biggest dipshit moment was forgetting to get the leap stone.
No, such as
And
the
I was
recording
right in the
curse.
same area. Like, had I just thought for 5 seconds, I would have remembered to get it.
I wish I had £15. So I could get H1Z1. From what I've seen of what my brother's played, it looks really good. I mean, I'm really just considering of paying it off my card.
So I've heard mixed things about it. I know it's got mixed reviews on Steam right now, I believe.
Everyone keeps saying it's pay to win, but it's really not. Because even if you did pay for the item, you've still got to wait for it to be airdropped, and that same item could be found by someone else who didn't pay. It's just pay to get things at will. And if you're paying for an airdrop, it also drops a load of zombies, and every player hears it and goes for it. And on a PvP server, that's a death sentence. And on a PvE server, you're not going to get the loot. Because you're going to die because of the zombies, and then someone else is going to come across it and kill all the zombies and take the loot and what you had on your corpse. And you can't kill that PvE player, so yeah, it's basically what a proper online zombie apocalypse would be like. That's what I expect from a zombie apocalypse game.
I'm actually going to see what the mixed on H1Z1. 7,000 reviews.
Huh.
It's an MMO. That's not a lot of reviews.
That's still quite a bit.
Well, it's a beta MMO, so it's pay £15 to get into the beta, and then pretty much everything will be regarded by Sony Online Entertainment. So buy H1Z1 pre-alpha, and you get listened to. But that doesn't mean you're going to get the next Call of Duty faster, or you're going to get 2 Call of Duties a year. It's still... Actually, that's Activision, not even Sony.
Yeah.
Well,
the thing is that I actually do kind of like that Call of Duty is starting to set up a schedule, because they have 3 publishers, or 3 developers right now for each game, or for the games. So they have, like, Sledgehammer releases their game one year, then Treyarch, then Infinity Ward, and that potentially does actually give the developers a couple of years to work on a Call of Duty game. Obviously, they're not going to fucking use it, but at least they have the chance.
Well, should we wrap this up now, since I've pretty much finished Luigi's Mansion for now, so...
Probably.
So, Bitilk's Jaffa Cakes, Alicorn Shipping, Daring Do Books, and... is there another one?
I don't think so. I think there's only 3.
We need to find another fake sponsor that will never pay us.
Reggie! My body is ready.
And buy Smiggle watches. They're £12.50 and they're for kids, but the black one is awesome and they're very good quality.
I'm actually going to promote something as well, though I don't think I'll do it as often. Go buy Starship Amazing's music, because it's really good, and they just released their last album for now. They might do stuff again in the future, but for now they just released their final album.
Okay. Anything else?
Harry, are you going to try and sell anything or advertise anything? Or say this is a cool thing, you should try and get it? I can also say that about Dark Cloud and Dark Chronicle, which you should also buy if you can never find a copy.
Not really.
Wait, someone test this for me. If you email a developer and say, can you send me a copy of this game, seeing as it is unable to be obtained by any legal methods, but I still want to pay you, and then send them the money, would you get the game that way?
Probably not.
Yeah, probably not.
They'll probably say, ooh, money!
It's like those English signs where it's just like, we are doing this for the inconvenience. Sorry for the inconvenience.
Yeah.
It's like, here, take. It's basically shut up and take my money, but not even get anything in return for it.
Shut up and take my money. Just
It's the
the
epitome.
general principle.
Okay, before we start rambling about something else, let's just say our goodbyes. Thanks for watching the.
Gaming. Thank you for watching the co-optional podcast.
I've been Super Mario Sonic Lover.
I've been Vicious Phantom. I hate you all.
Yes. And so does Luigi. Well, anyways, we'll see you guys next week.
This has been the Ramble Express. See you in hell.